Welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
Co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
Always a pleasure to host with you.
It is, my friend. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you as well. We've got a lot of great stuff.
Oh, my God. We got a lot of great guests today.
We do.
And we're going to have a great time doing what we need to do to make sure the community knows what's happening, because that's what we're about.
Absolutely. And we have some great sponsors.
Yeah, we do have some great sponsors. We have Lee Cossack and Crawley with us. Then we have Fervent Care Christian Academy. They're with us. Then we have the Marion County Health Department, who's doing a great job with this Safe Sleep program. Hope they will continue to be a part of the sponsorship of this show. Not only that, but all sponsors.
All sponsors.
And the dynamic lawyer, attorney Nathaniel Lee.
Super lawyer.
Super lawyer, heavy hitter. Yeah, he gets it done.
And we want to encourage people to go on YouTube, and you can watch us on YouTube while you're there. Please become a subscriber. You can go to YouTube, type in WHMB TV 40, and look at all the shows perhaps that you might have missed, and like us on Facebook.
Yeah, like us on, I love it when you say that, Pastor Jackson. Like us on Facebook, because we want to be liked by you so you can continue to watch us.
We've got some great guests coming up, so we want you to stay tuned. Be sure to watch us on Sundays at 5:30 p.m. and on Friday nights. Check your local listings. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. Hope you enjoyed the break. And we're joined by Mr. Steve Sanner, the Chief Executive Officer.
Yeah, fancy title.
For Jiffy Lube of Indiana. Yeah. Thanks for joining us today.
It's great to be here.
Happy
great to see you again.
You too. And we're excited about having you here and all of our viewers being able to hear about some of the wonderful things that are going on with Jiffy Lube, because most folks, like my daughter, she was in town just couple of weeks ago, and right around the corner there's a Jiffy Lube, and she needed 2 brand new tires. And you all are doing tires now.
We're doing tires now, tires and brakes.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And little stuff, little minor stuff. Yeah. So it sticks with our commitment to being preventive maintenance experts. We're not a repair shop.
Right.
So we work on cars before they break to keep them from breaking, so you don't have to go to the repair shop.
Right.
And tires and brakes wear out just like wiper blades and serpentine belts and other things we service. So it seemed like a natural move for us to help people out with brakes and tires. So you really don't have to take your car anywhere.
Just come to Jiffy Lube.
There you go, Pastor Moore. Just come to Jiffy Lube.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you're people-oriented.
Yeah, well, that's really, we view that as our legacy in the business. That's one of the things that attracted me 35 years ago to the business, was this concept that the founder of Jiffy Lube gets credit for starting, which is growing people through work. Because we take, they're young people, but we also hire a lot of 30, 40, 50-year-old people. You know, if you're 30 or 40 or 50 and you're coming to work an entry-level job at a Jiffy Lube, you've had some bad luck or you've made some bad decisions, and it gives us an opportunity to help you get back on track. And then the young people, obviously, it's a way for us to help them get into the workforce.
And then help with college or whatever.
Sure. I mean, we do tuition reimbursement. We help managers buy their first house with interest-free down. We give them money that they don't have to report to their bank, that they can get as a down payment. Because that's the biggest thing keeping people from buying a house is not having enough down payment.
Right.
And so we'll loan $5,000 and they pay it back whenever they feel like it, and gets them started in home ownership. You know, we do it. There's I think there's 12 different things we do. We drug test. We don't
and
do
you
that.
should.
We don't do it as a because we think you're a bad person if you've used drugs, but you're not going to get your life going in the right direction if you're using drugs. So we use it as a positive thing to say, hey, we're serious about helping you, but we want you to be serious about being helped.
And you need a stable workforce.
Right.
I think it's imperative that people understand that that's a part of the fly. That's a part of the business, is that in order to make up an employee accountable for their behavior. I think I don't even see anything wrong with that.
No, we tell our guys, we teach financial literacy classes. We push them to save a minimum of $2,000 a year. We do a lot of different things to get them on a good path, because financial stress is the greatest stress effect, and it affects every part of your life. Right. You think about wellness, and when we started our Growing People Through Work program, I thought wellness meant eat right and don't smoke.
Right.
But the Indiana Wellness Council that helped us put this program together made it very clear that the biggest stressor in people's lives, the biggest impact on your health, is your financial stress.
Right.
You know, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
And that's so important. It's an interesting way that you talked about the down payment, and it's an interesting way that you all get to that. So we're going to take a quick break and have you come back and talk about that.
We're going to kill this fly, aren't we?
We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back. We got the fly out. You know, I guess since Steve, since you're here, it's kind of like people are just flying into.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. And you did the Miyagi thing, you know.
We got the fly out. And just before we took the break, we were talking about the interesting way that you all get the money together to give to the managers for their down payment.
Yeah, well, we've done several different things to help alleviate some financial stress. One of which is anyone in the company can donate into we call it Jiffy Lube Cares Fund, and it's run by our head of HR with our senior district manager, and then whoever wins Manager of the Year and a Rookie Manager of the Year at our awards banquet. The four of them make up the committee. We donate money into that. I give $50 a week, as does my partner. Other people give 20 or 10. We have some people who give $1 or $2. And that money accumulates every week, and it allows anybody who has any needs at all. As we talk to our people about budgeting and financial literacy and making good decisions, they get on the right path, most of them. But it's still not easy to get there. And if your car breaks down, or your washing machine breaks, or your roof is leaking, or the plumbing, anything that happens, we're there as a first choice. I don't want people. We can't teach financial literacy and then let you go to a payday loan company to when you get in cash trouble.
Yeah.
So they're coming to us, and we loan basically usually up to $500. In some cases, we go more than that. You can't get a second loan until you pay the first one back. So that incentivizes people to pay it back as fast as they can. A lot of times it might be $10 a week for a year, and you've paid back your $500. Some people pay it faster. We've had a couple instances. We had an assistant manager whose 9-year-old son died of the flu, and he didn't have enough money for a funeral. So we didn't loan him money. We just gave him a couple $1,000s out of the fund so that he could bury his son. And we've had a few tragedies like that where we've dipped into that fund. The beauty of that is over the last 5 years, we've donated about $40,000 into that fund, and we're I think in the next couple months we'll cross the $300,000 mark in loans we've given out. So that seed money, the money we donate out of our checks every week, $40,000, because we loan it out and people pay it back, loan it out, pay it back, loan it out, pay it back. It's equated to almost $300,000 in help we've been able to give to our guys.
That's phenomenal, though, to value people that way.
I mean, you have to today. I tell our guys all the time, workers today have all the power. Every business owner is struggling to find good people. So if you want to be a good person, if you want to work hard, you become Kevin Durant. You're a free agent.
Yeah,
You can demand a price, and if you can get that through people's heads that they really are in control. That make me pay you more, or take your skill, be so good that other
I
people
appreciate
come in
what
and
you do.
hire.
Yeah.
You know, make me become a free agent.
Yeah.
You know, some free agents no one cares about, and they just retire and go away. But
Right.
you know, the good ones, everybody competes for, and you make more money that way. So
It's all about growing people, and you all do that so well. Talk about the Every Part Matters project.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with Every Part Matters. It started off as our Broad Ripple store was getting tagged by graffiti,
Right.
and I've had a friend of mine who said, you know, there's a art company in town that'll paint a mural over the wall, and the graffiti artists typically don't come back and tag that because it's someone else's artwork. And so we got with this group, had one of the funniest conversations I ever had in my life when I talked to them about painting murals on a Jiffy Lube. They're like, why would we paint on an oil change building? I said, well, come and look at it, and I think it's a blank canvas, and we'll let you paint a mural, whatever you want to put up there. And so it really, that evolved into this Every Part Matters, where we've gotten the community involved in helping paint the murals in some cases. We've gotten the arts community really excited about it. In the next couple months, we'll finish our 13th and 14th mural. They are the first year that we hooked up with the Indianapolis Arts Council. They did a request for proposal. We had 20 artists submit to paint 6 murals. We picked 6 out of 20. This year, we had 65 artists apply.
Wow.
To paint 5 murals this year.
Across the state?
Mainly in Indianapolis now. We have one in Lafayette. We're going to do one in Kendallville by the end of the year, and then next year we're going to really look at northern Indiana. We have a couple stores with massive walls that will be unbelievable mural opportunities. We pay the artist $5,000 to $12,000. So it's a way to support the local arts community.
Right.
I was just down on the south side this morning, and Pamela Bliss is painting a mural on our Stop 11 and 31 South. She'll get started in a couple weeks, but she's the one that painted the Reggie Miller mural downtown and the Kurt Vonnegut mural. She's amazing. Kyle Ragsdale just finished a mural out on East Washington Street. Kyle is the head of the Harrison Center for the Arts. He's an amazing artist, and it's so interesting to me how different the murals are. The only things we tell the artists is you can't be vulgar or controversial. We want to change everybody's oil. And it can't have anything to do with a car. I don't want anybody to confuse it as any kind of advertisement for Jiffy Lube. It needs to be
Just the
artwork
promotion
that
of
stands
people.
to itself.
Promotion of people.
And every artist takes a different tack to it. The one that Pamela's painting on the south side is about pollination. It has bees and flowers. You know, there's one going at 86th in Michigan, an artist named Ish is coming down from Hammond, Indiana. He's very well known up in Chicago. And he's painting, the Arts Council is doing Growing People Through Work with him because they've assigned 2 apprentice artists, local kids, young people, they're in their 20s, who aren't really ready to paint a mural on their own, but they're apprenticing under Ish, and it's called 3 Kings. Each one of them is going to paint their representation of a king.
Wow.
And they'll be there. I'll show you a picture of what they're proposing. It's going to be amazing. So anybody that's pumping gas at the Shell station at 86th in Michigan will be right in your face.
Wow.
So.
And you all won an award recently.
We did. It came out of nowhere. The David Rockefeller Americans for the Arts in New York City saw what we were doing with these murals and the collaboration between business and the arts. And we got nominated. I had to fill out a nomination form, and a month later they told us, "Hey, you were selected. You won." So we're the first business that I don't think there's ever been an Indianapolis-based business that's won one of these national awards. A company in Fort Wayne won one 15 years ago. I think that's it for the state of Indiana. So it's a really big deal. We get to go to New York in October, and I got to get a tuxedo. And it's at Central Park, and people named Rockefeller and Bloomberg are going to be hanging out with the oil change guys.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Jiffy Lube has been in this community for quite some time.
35 years.
Quite some time. And it's, I remember when I was a younger man, that's where all of us would go to get oil changes. And I've seen all change stores come and go.
Right.
But Jiffy Lube is still around doing its thing, and you need to be commended for that. And then secondly, how you take time to develop employees. But the question I'd like to ask is, how are you doing as it relates to creating entrepreneurship programs?
The growing people through work process is one where we tell our guys, look, we want you to work here forever. But if you have bigger dreams than that, or you have a different path you want to take, we're here to support that as well. So if this isn't your ultimate goal, or you get an idea that you want to do something else, work hard here. References are important. We will help you in whatever you want to do if you've earned that help by working hard here and doing a good job for us. And so the latest example, we had a guy who loved making hot sauce. He was a hot sauce guy, Hobo Jim, that was his brand, and he would sell it at farmers markets. He'd make it, and he really got to the point where he said, I want to make a go at this. My son's now out of high school. He wants to help me, and I want to make a go. So I want to leave Jiffy Lube. And we said, well, how are you going to make this work? And he goes, well, I got to raise money. I said, how much money do you think you need? He goes, I think I need about $15,000 to do what I want to do. Well, we looked at his pro forma. We decided he needed about $25,000. So we invested. We bought 49% of a hot sauce business. And we had fun with it for about 4 years. My friends, everybody got hot sauce for Christmas one year. Ultimately, it just wasn't.
Couldn't get off the ground.
People don't use enough hot sauce. Right. Ketchup they use. Yeah. Mustard they use. Hot sauce, that little bottle might last 6 months.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you got to sell an awful lot of little bottles if it takes 6 months to use one. So he's still trying.
Okay.
But we ran out of our money and just decided, look, Jim, we tried everything we could do to help. And we ran through the money, so you can have our 49% back, and you can go do what you want to do, and we wish you well. So he sends me anytime he gets a new sauce, I'll get a bottle of it, and hopefully he'll make it. But that's, we're open to anything like that can help our guys reach their dreams.
How about entrepreneurships inside of Jiffy Lube? Is there somebody can come in as a low-level employee, if I might use that term, entry employee, and eventually transcend to ownership?
Lonnie Hinkle, who we met before when we did a previous interview, Lonnie started with us 25 years ago. He was a student going to Lincoln Tech. He worked part-time vacuuming cars. He's now our chief operating officer. He's a partner in about 15 different stores and businesses we've gotten involved with over the years. And he's probably our greatest example of growing people through work. He came out of Lincoln Tech with $32,000 in loans, and we paid those off for him over time, and we helped him buy a house. He took advantage of every program we had. Yeah. And so he's wonderful speaking to the guys because hey,
he's an example.
Look what happened for me, and that can happen for you too. And so we have, I think there's 7 or 8 of our operations guys who are now partners. So we're building a new store in Fishers. Okay. We'll have 3 or 4 of our key people get a little slice of that just for the work they've done to this point. So it's a way to get in, and at some point, I'm not going to be this young forever.
Right.
At some point, I'm hoping they buy me out.
Yeah.
If they save their money well. Yeah.
But you're even teaching them how to do that.
Right.
Well, Steve, we have about a couple of minutes left. You have a lot of compassion and care for people. Where did that originate?
My parents were school teachers, and one of my sisters is still a school teacher, and I think I'll teach before life is over. I think when I decide to step away from the Jiffy Lube business, and who knows when, a bunch of years, I could see going back and teaching. I loved coaching the kids. I coached all the kids growing up, football, basketball, baseball. They all turned into soccer players, which tells you what kind of coach I must have been. But yeah, just giving back and making a difference. You don't want to go through life, without leaving a legacy. Yeah. So that's how we think. It's what we want to do, and it feels good to lay in bed at night knowing that
you've helped somebody.
Yeah, people have a chance that they might not have had. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank all the folks over at Jiffy Lube.
Great. Appreciate coming on.
Yeah, we're going to have you back.
Oh, good.
You've been a great guest.
All right.
Perhaps after the award ceremony, you can
Come back and tell us
Come
how
show
it
you
went.
pictures of what the penguin suit looked like on this big body of mine. Yeah.
And thank you all for joining us. We have the rundown when we come back. We'll be back after this.
Real people, real voices, keep it
Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
Co-host Pastor Wayne Moore.
And your executive producer, Faith McKinney.
Great segment.
It was a great segment. Great brother. Great brother.
Loves people.
Yeah, he loves people. Not only does he love people, but he helps people.
Yeah.
To be a entry-level manager, need a home, they're going to help you get that home. You have a challenge in your family, they're going to help you meet the challenge. Who wouldn't want to work for someone like that? At the same time, they want you to develop into an employee to where you can eventually own a Jiffy Lube.
Yeah.
So that's something to take into consideration, and to see how he works that system and how he values people is important. I think the service industry has lost in many instances their respect for their employees. Jiffy Lube doesn't seem to have that problem here in central Indiana.
Yeah. And I like the parallel or the comparison he talked about, Faith, where Kevin Durant is a free agent, right? Some of these others.
Right.
And he said you make yourself valuable like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
By
And
the work you do.
By the work you do, and you have to, show yourself approved, and that's your legacy. The quality of your work is your legacy, and so he's working with people to, build their legacy. But Mr. Sanders is involved in the community in so many ways, in so many areas. He's such a great asset to our town.
And he's easy to talk to.
Yeah.
He
At
really
the level
is.
of life that he is at. He's easy to talk to, and that's the kind of company you want to work for. He knows what each store in his proximity is doing. That's amazing, and that's how you do that.
And Lonnie, the chief operating officer who wasn't able to make it because of some family responsibilities, is a good example of what they do and how they do it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's great guy, a great company.
Right.
It's great to have them on the show.
Sure is. Yeah.
All right. So that's all for now. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you same time, same channel next week.